that, and they experience how the tribes live, and they record it or whatever. And just watching that, and my knowledge of always seeing people over in Africa, we're talking about altered states, Rod. They always, you know what they always do when they want to tap into an altered state? And when I want to ask you, because I told you, one of my closest friends was from South Africa, and South Africa seemed like they got some shit popping over there. They always got a damn mask on, Rod. What is it about the mask in altered states? And is this do the indigenous in America use the same thing? Is this an African thing? Is this an American thing?
It was a global phenomenon of any tribal system.
Talk to me about the mask. Why is the mask so important to tapping in to altered states, higher dimensions? Right now people use drugs. Back then they use masks, Rod. What is it about the mask, Rod? And while you answer that, I'm gonna put the mask on. Go ahead. While you answer that.
So the mask is a physical object that holds a frequency. Whoever make the mask charges the mask with the energy of who or what is trying to repeatedly access. Not just the mask, the statuary too. Like I was going to ask you about the statue that's holding your mic, right? Because she looks slightly African, but she also look a little Cambodian. But this is because some of those masks are thousands of years old. They've been used by so many shamans that if you are from that bloodline and you put it on, it instantly triggers something in your DNA to wake that part of you up. I like that one, by the way, Brother Rich.
Good time. I'm having a good time today, y'all. Yeah, no, right.
Yeah. So those are called sympathies in the occult. They call it a sympathy because it establishes a sympathetic link to a frequency, wavelength, bloodline, character, archetype, and all of that focuses your mirror cells. Right behind your forehead, you have what's called mirror cells in your prefrontal lobe. The object that's been repeatedly charged for so long by so many people, if it's in your bloodline, you can use it. You can use your great-grandmama picture for a mask if you're trying to tap into her energy.
Wow.
You know, but this is why they always was telling us in Islam, pictures is haram. They had a equanimical council on whether they would use the statues of the apostles on the altar and all that stuff, because they were trying to figure out how much of this would they give us access to. That's all it is. You got access to everything, but people are trying to keep the access from you by telling you you don't. But just because they told you don't do it, don't mean you ain't supposed to do it. This is where you come up with your left hand magic and your right hand magic, right? If you don't know who, we all know Michael is the right hand angel of God. Well, who was the left hand angel of God? They don't ever tell you that. Because the left hand angel of God is truly destructive, right? So the right hand angel of God is strictly defensive. He's just blocking and stopping and putting barriers and obstacles in the enemy path. But when the left hand of God is unleashed, he gonna bring down the hammer. He's coming for the drama. They don't want to talk about that. Because now you start tapping into a different frequency that is a liberating frequency. All of this, your brain operate off frequencies. You got alpha wave, theta wave, delta wave, zeta waves. Each one of these wavelengths carry a different type of information, right? You learn best when you in alpha state, right? So you also, alpha state is also what they call the hypnotic induction state.
Right.
Right. But I forget which one when you wide awake, I think it's like the delta state or the beta state. That's the one where you live and watch your reality and you ain't paying attention to stuff that's hidden in plain sight. But when you merge alpha, beta, delta, zeta wave together and you get them all working in harmony, now you have hemisync, full brain access. Then your two chambers of your left brain ain't beating by themselves. Now your right brain beating with your left brain. Now you got to balance that out. And now you got 4 chambers in your brain that's sucking that sacred secretion to the top like a vacuum. You got to pump in the back of your neck. You got to pump at the base of your spine.
Right.
Why? What they pumping?
What are they pumping?
Cerebral spinal fluid is called the silver fluid. But the one that they call the Christos fluid is the golden elixir, the golden fluid that travels up the spine.
Yeah.
You can't never access it with only one half of your brain. And this is why they always try to teach all children to be right-handed. I say don't teach them to be right-handed, teach them to be ambidextrous where they can activate both sides. Don't force them to stop using their left. Just help them with their right. If they want to write with you write left-handed Monday, on Tuesday you write right-handed. Wednesday you write left-handed, Thursday you write right-handed. Right? And you alternate it like that until they good with both hands. You see in calligraphy studies in Japan,
right,
you'll see a person that has the brain separated in 4 quadrants. That means they can operate upper left brain, lower left brain, upper right brain, lower right brain.
Right.
And they can write something different with left hand, left foot, right foot.
You know, I told you before, Rod. I told you this. I noticed this because I played piano. I said, you know, both of my hands have a different personality. So
yeah,
I play something with my right hand, I could play something with my left hand, and I'd be like, damn, why didn't I think about that before? And I'd be like, oh shit, because it was my right hand playing before. My left hand is playing something completely different. The same when writing, because sometimes I practice writing with my left hand. It's a different thought process that happens in my mind. So we have been cut off from a significant part of our magic by not using both hands, because your left hand could come up with some shit that your right hand can't. We don't even know it because we don't use it, bro. This shit is crazy, man.
And the first thing somebody will tell you, I tried to write with my left hand, but it was too hard.
Yeah, the first thing, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's not hard.
So they quit.
Your left hand is untrained. Your right hand is well trained.
That's all it is. Yeah, thank you, my brother. Thank you.
It's Michael Jordan at 13 versus Michael Jordan at 33.
I love that analogy because it's a Michael Jordan analogy with both hands. With both. I love that. Was a good one. That was a good one.
If you go back at 13, Mike wasn't even playing basketball. He's playing baseball.
He said he sucked. Yeah, he sucked at 13. Yeah, that was a good analogy. Oh man.
Right. But once he started playing basketball, right, when he was 33, he was the GOAT.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Look what happened in the 20-year shift. He changed his whole sport, right? And he changed how he performed. Matter of fact, if you remember when he first came, he was relentless to the basket. Remember? Mm-hmm. But then when he took the retirement year off, he came back, he had something called a fadeaway.
Fadeaway. He had to develop the fadeaway, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That means that he had to train a whole new basketball skill set and altered his game in order to take him to even another level.
Indeed.
You see, so we think we don't want to do stuff because it's hard. Everything hard when you don't know how to do it. But if you see somebody that's a real good pool shooter and you be like, man, how you get that good? They start laughing. And they gonna say, by shooting pool. You can't get better if you don't play the game. Mm-hmm. You can't tap your psychic abilities if you don't practice tapping your psychic abilities. This is why they got tools to help you train your psychic faculty, like tarot cards, runes, I Ching, cowrie shells. Then when you start getting good at those, you'll be able to go outside and then you can hear the way that the wind rustle the leaves tell you something about the weather pattern.
And speaking of that, family, I'm gonna do this because it's important that we change things up. We have 4,200 people in the chat tonight. I'm going to take, you know how we take commercial breaks? We're going to take another 60-second spiritual break to just listen to the sounds of creation. You know what I'm saying? And for those who leave, you weren't meant to be on this live in the first place. And those who stay, we know you were meant to be on this live. This isn't just entertainment, family. We're serious about this shit. Regardless of I'm being a spiritual hype man or not, we're serious about this shit. So we're going to take a 60-second break. For those who ain't serious, you can leave, no problem. Love you all. Appreciate you for you when you staying here. For those who want to stay, stay. But we're going to take a 60-second break to get into some sounds of nature and sounds of the universe, and we'll be right back to close out the show. We got about 12. I'll be so hyped after I do that, family. I come back. When I come back up, he's like, I gotta calm down for a second after I come back from that. I appreciate that sound.
Hey, Rich, tell us about the piece that's holding the mic while you.
Yo, Rod, I got this from a store. I don't know much, man. I got this from the store in Manhattan, and they weren't able to tell me much. But this statue right here, I get a certain vibe, a certain energy, a certain resonance. Let me just show y'all. So this is the whole statue. It was old when I got it, and they was like, yo, this is an old joint, whatever. And I'm just like, and they showed me a new joint. I'm like, nah, I want the old joint. There was just something about it. So I was doing an interview with A.A. Rashid, and we didn't have a mic stand. And A.A. was like, yo, use the statue for the mic stand. And I was like, oh shit, that is incredible. So ever since then, I've been using it. And my interviews is better when I use the stand. I feel like I'm just more alive. I have more fun. So I want to thank the statue for just, assisting me. And, this, what I do right here, Rod.
Yeah, I was telling you earlier, she looked like she's slightly Cambodian.
Is it a sister? You said a sister. This looks like this is a dude. What do you think?
No, that's a female. Okay, you see the what they call the waistband?
Right. What, this right here?
Yep. Then you see the split down the middle?
Right there. Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's how you know it's a skirt.
But dudes ain't wear that back in there? And then that
No.
Ooh, okay.
That's a 100% female. Now remember, most of these priests is masquerading as women.
Somebody said no boobs. As an American man, the first thing I would think about is where the fuck the boobs at. Somebody said that. You know what I mean?
All women don't have big boobs. All women don't have big boobs.
Right.
But when you look at the earrings, the hairstyle is the beehive.
Yeah.
That's a woman all day long. And if I keep on looking to, I might even remember where she's from because it looked familiar.
Shit. Yeah, I know you be tapping in, Ron. Yo, Ron, you know what? I want to get to a couple of questions from y'all before we get out here. So start putting questions in the chat. Rod, I'll be talking to you on the phone, brother, and we be talking about some topics, and we was talking about the tobacco. One of my new nicknames is Tobacco Rich.
I know that.
That's one of my. I gotta send you this, Rod. You gotta send me an address, a PO box or something. I got 100% pure tobacco from the curanderos, the shamans in Honduras. This is where Dr. Sabi's from. The dudes that cured Dr. Sabi, the curanderos, the tobacco they use to do their rituals. I got their tobacco in my possession. And when I tell you I used it, Rod, and when I tell you I had major breakthroughs, I mean, like, it made me realize, Rod, the weed we get out here ain't shit. And I'm not into weed that much. But all this shit, man, listen, I'm not even in the shrooms that much. But listen, the tobacco that for some reason, we hear about everything else. The shrooms, DMT, Bufo. We hear about all types of shit. Take Bufo, take DMT, take this. We never hear about, yo, you know, the Americans was into tobacco. We never hear that. We don't hear that shit. We hear about everything else, but we don't hear that. And when I got into this and I smoked this, I said, oh shit. This is some shit. I said, oh, right, yo, this is some. I mean, he was talking on the phone about the whole nicotine conspiracy and all of that. But Rod, oh shit, man, brother, it is on and popping like never before. Give me and the reason why I bring this up is because number one, this I got a whole thing going on. I'm gonna make an announcement, a whole thing going on, but I'm not gonna talk about it tonight. A whole thing going on. Quick note: everybody who sent the donation for the tobacco, I sent everybody's cigar out today. So you should get it by Friday, Saturday. So if you're watching, you like, nigga, you saying that, but where my shit at? I sent everybody's out. You should get it by Friday or Saturday. You can email me if you didn't get it. But I sent everybody who sent me their address. I sent it out today, and you should get it by Friday or Saturday. But Rod, I was watching this joint on YouTube, like I said, with the white boys that go in Africa and they with these tribes. And one of the things the tribes do, all of them, I mean, these are like tribes. All they want to do is hunt. All they do is hunt, and they protect the woman, they protect their village, and they live a happy life, song, dance, all that. But one of the things they all do is engage in tobacco, not weed, not all this exotic shit. I took a mushroom from a tree. All of them, they into tobacco, bro. All the African tribes that I watch on these shows. So if we're talking about altered states, what is it about tobacco in altered states, Rod Hayes?
We've been using tobacco so long that it automatically has an allure to us.
Okay.
The problem with modern cigarettes from like Winston and Marlboro is the chemicals they put on it is designed to stifle the effects of the natural tobacco. When they tell you about the best cigars, where they tell you they're from, Rich?
Cuba.
Cuba got a certain environment. But that same environment is in Dominica, Haiti. They grow tobacco there too.
Yeah. Yep.
That same environment is in Jamaica. They grow tobacco there too. Right? The hardest tobacco to get is you have to hike up the mountains in Jamaica to get from the high shamans. They don't like to share it because of the medicinal values of it and the spiritual attuning values it have. It's hard to get. So a lot of the other shamans, like Rastas, settle for marijuana. But tobacco is ancient to us. We've been using it for spiritual purposes for so long that sometimes when you get real, fresh, clean tobacco with no pesticides or herbicides on it, it can have the effect of immediately waking you up on the first puff.
Yeah.
You know, it's cultural, but the culture is tied to the connection between the environment, the land, and the communication of the land and the foliage with the people. I mean, you probably heard me say we sprang up like trees.
Yeah.
We originally came up like trees, but I say that for a reason, because the foliage, the health of the foliage tell you the health of the planet, right? Now you're seeing that they're starting to grow grass in the desert. That's a good sign. That's what they call the return of Oshun in the Orisha story. The deserts fade away and become lush vegetation. But when Oshun withholds her sweet waters, then the masculine energy create deserts trying to beat sweet water from a rock. That's where the term, you can't get water from a rock. You can't get blood from a rock. You can make a rock sweat and get water from it, but you can't beat water out of a rock. You beat that rock all day long and you will just keep coming up with dust, right? It's making a desert. And the desert is the side effect of the rogue patriarchy and warfare and the disrespect of the divine feminine, right? the recognition of the divine feminine and the embracing brings about foliage that's going to tell you. It's communication with the vegetation and different. It's the same way if you eat fresh food from your own garden, you're gonna be healthier than anything you get out the grocery store.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I see. David said, can we still send donations? Yeah. Next week. Not right now. I'm getting packaging and everything together right now. So that first batch, they was lucky. They got that first batch out, but not right now. But next week I will give because I'm gonna use PayPal instead of Cash App. I'm gonna use PayPal instead of Cash App. So I have everything set up by next week. But family, this is absolutely. And I'm Rod. I'm gonna talk to you. I gotta send you one of these joints. And I seen Q. Shout out to Q Reeves in the audience. I gotta call you back, brother. You sent me the text. I gotta call you back about that and chop it up with you. Gotta make a few tweaks, but we're gonna definitely get a live going in before the month is over. But yeah, by next week I'll be popping David, and I'll let everybody know. Shout out to everybody. Somebody asked about it, shipping tobacco. Yeah, it's good. It's legal. I checked into all the legalities. It's legal. That's why I'm accepting it as donations, and I'm not, you can't send loose tobacco. I'm sending a cigar. You can send a cigar as a gift. People do it all the time. People do it for weddings, if they get married, if they have certain ceremonies. But as far as loose tobacco, they don't want you to mail loose tobacco in the mail. I'm not mailing loose tobacco. I'm just mailing a gift, cigar gift. So that's perfectly legal. Perfectly legal. Just to let y'all know, perfectly legal to mail a loose cigar. But let's get to a couple of questions. Somebody said I could get it sent to. Yeah, you can get it sent to Toronto. You just got to pay the shipping. But like I said, next week I'll have all the information for y'all. I'm gonna set it up on PayPal. So whoever set it up, they was lucky. They got the first. Red Pill's actually coming over.